Hey guys, it's Allie. Welcome to another tutorial Tingles. The tutorial that I'll be giving you guys today is something that was really highly requested by a lot of you, which was the makeup from Departure Episode 2. So that is what I'm going to be showing you guys. And I'm really looking forward to sharing this one with you. The overall goal of this look for me was to create as much of a kind of doll-like synthetic appearance on my face as possible, because Sherry 3000 is an android. So there's a lot of kind of intense costumey aspects to this makeup look. Definitely not everyday wear, but it's really fun to do. So I hope that you guys enjoy this tutorial and maybe learn something and get some tingles as well. So let's get started. Okay guys, so I have pulled my hair away from my face. That's how I like to do my makeup. And also, I've got my mirror set up right here, right out of frame. So I'm going to be looking in this direction periodically. So that's what I'm looking at. So you may be able to tell that I have gone ahead and done a base coat of foundation already, just because that's just where I'm starting with this look, but also because it is kind of a costumey look that I also wanted to wear for a long period of time. I started with a primer this time. And this is called Pixie. This is a brand that I'm trying, and I like it. It's a pore minimizing face primer, and it is oil-free and hydrating. This is a little, kind of like a little orange wood nail stick that I was playing with this earlier, and I like the sound of this moving across the little ridges. It doesn't have anything to do with the makeup look. It's just fun. I thought it made a nice sound. I found this primer and this brand at Target. And another thing that I would recommend for a costume makeup look, especially one that you want to stay in place for several hours, would be a makeup setting spray. I am a big fan of Urban Decay's makeup setting spray. I don't have any, because it's a little pricey, but it's worth the investment, because it only takes a few little spritzes on your face and it really sets your makeup really well. So that's another good product to have on hand for a look like this one. So I just spread a really thin layer of this Pixie primer onto my face, and maybe a pea-sized amount, not much at all. Less is more with this kind of used my trusty Revlon Color Stay 24-hour foundation that I showed you guys the last time I did a makeup tutorial. And you may remember I said that this was my go-to makeup for videos, especially because it has a lot of coverage and stays on a long time. So, because the Sherry Android look is very doll-like, I used a pretty generous amount of this. And I also included my mouth when I was going over my face because I wanted a nice nude look to my lips. If I had a professional opinion, my professional opinion would be to just use a nude lipstick, but that's also something I don't have. So this worked just fine for me. For this purpose, anyway. And then I used quite a bit of under-eye concealer because I want my face to look as synthetic as possible. So the first step of this look that I'm going to show you is possibly the most fun, depending on your point of view. And it was usually the first step that I did when I was getting ready to shoot my scene in Departure. I say usually because I shot it several different times. So I did this makeup look several different times. The first step is eyebrows. Now the Sherry flight attendant, as I said, is meant to look really synthetic as much as possible and kind of doll-like. So I felt like a really good way to bring that to life on my face was with some really almost cartoony eyebrows. Now, the way I did it is I completely erased my own eyebrows using a trick that I learned on YouTube that I'm going to show you now. This is great for any kind of costume makeup that really requires you to create whole new eyebrows, which this look sort of did. So what you're going to need is ideally Ideally, you'll want a spoolie, a clean spoolie, which, if you're not familiar with that term, it's just like, it looks like a mascara brush. But I have misplaced mine, so I'm going to just use this eyebrow brush. So if you have a spoolie, use that. But if not, eyebrow brush will do. And you're also going to need a glue stick. Stay with me. Yeah, you are going to put glue on your eyebrows, so just kind of get comfy with that idea. I like the disappearing purple kind the best. It goes on sort of lavender, but that it dries clear. That's kind of how you know it's dry. This is very easy to find. Any grocery store or drugstore should carry it. So you'll need a good stick of glue and something with which to draw on your new eyebrows. In my case, it is this matte brown eyeshadow with a very, very small, thin angle brush. I don't know if you can see that. You're also going to need some concealer and some pressed powder. And I'm going to show you how to make your eyebrows disappear. And I'm going to show it to you on my own face, and it's going to really freak you out. I'm sorry about that. But it's still a pretty cool trick. It works really well. I already have pretty light eyebrows naturally, so it works great on my face. And it feels really kind of gunky and sticky. But it's awesome. I'm gonna look like, what's her name? Jessica Rabbit. Is that her name? I'm gonna look like a cartoon, is what I'm trying to say. Okay. Let's get started. So the first thing that you're gonna want to do is take your spoolie or eyebrow brush, in this case, and go ahead and you're going to brush your eyebrow against the grain, I guess. So brush it backwards so that the hairs are all kind of uneven and crazy looking. Okay. Next, you're going to take your glue stick This is a nice brand new one. You do want a new-ish glue stick for this to work properly. Don't just grab one that's been sitting in your house since 2001. That won't work. And the same way that you brushed your eyebrow inward, you're going to apply your glue inward. And you want to be fairly generous with it. Make sure to go a little bit past each end of your eyebrow, a little bit over and under your eyebrow, which won't be hard because it's a wide surface. It's going to feel really wrong to be doing this, which in a way is also kind of liberating. Okay. So really get the glue on there. Okay. This This next step is where it really is good to have a spoolie instead of one of these, but we'll do our best. You're going to sort of comb your eyebrow back into place where it ought to be. Smooth it out. And then we're going to do another good swipe of glue over your eyebrow. And doing it the opposite way, the way we just did, really just serves to coat all of the little hairs. And then you sort of do it over again with it smooth. Okay, that's step one. You want to let this dry for a minute. That's creating a nice kind of barrier over your eyebrow. And then you're going to go in with your concealer. And generously apply all over. This is when it starts to get weird, y'all. So I'm going to blend this with my finger a little bit now. Okay. So, you can see it's already starting to disappear compared to my other eyebrow. But we're not done yet. We're actually going to do that a couple more times. So now we're going to add a layer of pressed powder. Okay, so this is a start. You can see this starting to disappear. Now we're going to do it over again. So get your glue stick again. We're not going to go back over it this way again. We're just going to just keep swiping inside to outside. So another healthy layer of glue. And get our concealer again. And at this point you may be saying to yourself, wow, Allie, that looks like it would get really kind of clumpy and sticky on your face. And to that I would say you are correct. It is a little bit, but that's why this is kind of more of a costume look and not so much an everyday look. Unless your everyday look is a dramatic change like this. In which case you are no stranger to lots of makeup. So we're going to add the powder again. And now my eyebrow is really exactly what we want. And we're just going to powder a little bit more. So, we have pretty much effectively made this eyebrow disappear. In my mirror, I don't know if you can tell, I can still see some little remnants of my late eyebrow. But for what we're doing, this is really going to do the trick. Anything that is even vaguely visible there will kind of disappear when we draw on the new eyebrow. Cool. So here it is. Ellie Sands' right eyebrow. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the other one and then show you how I draw on the new eyebrows with my angle brush. Okay. So here is what it looks like when both eyebrows are erased. You can probably, you can still see kind of the ghost of my eyebrows, but that's okay, because once we draw on the new ones, it'll sort of, the eye will be more drawn to the eyebrows that you've drawn. So, I'm going to be using my matte brown eyeshadow from Bit Hit, and my small angle brush. And this may take a couple of tries. Hopefully not. I'm going to try and make them as symmetrical as possible, but I'm really just trying to create an entirely new look for my eyebrows. So I'm going to load the brush up pretty well. And I like to just sort of start in the corner, the inner corner. And I want my fake eyebrows to sit a little bit higher up on my face than my natural eyebrows do. Just to kind of change my face a little bit. So I'm going to start all the way up here. Just kind of start with a little line. And this is something that I pretty much just eyeball and do my best with. So there's the main shape. And from here, I'm just going to darken this line a bit. So once this line is as dark as I want it, now it's time to fill in the rest. So I'm going to go for kind of a wider point here in the corner, inner corner, and then let it sort of taper out, thin out as it moves outward. You'll see what I mean. Okay. And I like to sort of err on the side of caution with this, because I can always add more eyebrow thickness, but it's really hard to go back and take some away then I'm removing layers of powder and concealer and glue and everything we just worked so hard on. I'm pretty pleased with this outline. It looks nice and fake. So I'm going to fill it in completely now with just more of the matte brown. So I'm pretty happy with this. It's nice and archy and really unnatural looking, in my opinion anyway, which is exactly what I was going for with the sherry look. So now I'm just going to round this square out slightly. Just to make it a little bit more cartoony. Okay. Okay. So here are my kind of Barbie eyebrows, sort of. They are not, I'd say they're pretty close, but they're not perfectly identical. But as many of you guys very kindly told me in the last makeup tutorial, your eyebrows should be sisters but not twins. So I don't feel bad about it. So the next step is eye makeup. And to start out this look, I always began with lining my lower waterline with this white cream eyeshadow. All the way from the inner corner to the outer corner. This always reminds me of, I don't know, like anime cosplay. Okay. So it's looking pretty good. Nice, I'm happy with how this looks at this point. Has the effect that I'm going for. So now it's time for the fun / kind of scary part. And that is the all black lid on my right side. I say scary because if I mess this up, then all is lost. Although, to be fair, it's not super easy to mess up. It's pretty straightforward. So I'm going to be using just a black liquid liner. This one is just from the NYX brand, NYX. And it was important, it's extreme black. It was important for me to use a liquid liner for this rather than just powder eyeshadow or cream shadow, because liquid liner really just has the staying power, I guess, that those two things don't have as much. It really just stays where you put it for a long time, which is what I needed. I do also set it with a matte black eyeshadow, powder eyeshadow as well, just for good measure, and to make it look kind of soft and even. But the other benefit to using a liquid liner for this is that there are some kind of precise points on this little shape that I'm about to draw on my eye. And the little brush for the liquid liner is very, very thin. So it helps me get that precision that I need. Okay, so let's get started. And I like to start by just finding the point that I want and just making a little dot. So there it is. And from here I'm going to start creating the shape upward. And it's going to come to a nice little triangle right there. So here we go. Now I have a nice straight line and the beginning outline of the shape. So now I'm going to complete the shape, connect the lines, and then fill this whole thing in with black. It's going to look really intense. Let's bring this to a little point here. And do the same thing in the inner corner. Need a pretty steady hand for this. It's difficult. Okay. Yes, we're going to fill all of this in, and depending on how it looks, when I've done that, I may bring this line down slightly, change the shape up just a little bit, but we'll see. This part's fun, it's just like painting. So I brought the triangle here inward just a little bit. If you can see, the line stays kind of thick right until about here. Oops. This can get a little bit messy. That's okay. palette with, this is from my big color palette that I showed you last time. I'm going to set it with this matte black right here and this brush. And this is where caution is important. You don't want too much product on the brush. It's tempting because you have such a big area to cover. But you don't want too much product on the brush because it can really easily trickle down onto your face. Then you have a big problem. Okay, so I'm just going to gently pat the black color onto the liquid liner. And for those inner corners, I'll use a thinner brush. Okay. So now I am pretty pleased with this part. So now our next step is going to be the two little racing stripes that go across my face, right here and here. So for that, I will also need my liquid liner again, and I also need some kind of a straight edge. And after a lot of experimenting, I learned that the best straight edge to use was something that was kind of cardboardy, just because it was sturdy enough to sort of drag the liner across, but not a big, ruler on my face. So what I'm going to use today is just a little torn off piece of the package from my glue sticks that we used earlier. And I'm just going to use this top edge right here, place it against my face, and use it as a guide for my lines. So I just press this against my skin, nice and firmly, and I'm just going to draw my first line. I want it to end at about the same place that the corner of my eye shape ends. Now this isn't perfect, but you can go back through and clean it up. Just a starting point. Really steady your arm, your hand for this one. Okay. And then I'm going to create a squared, kind of a squared off tip right here. There's our first one. Okay, so for line number 2, I'm going to turn this on its side now and use this edge because this one has a little product on it. I don't want that coming off on my face. So I'm going to situate this just slightly under the first line. And this line is going to begin a little bit before this one does. Not dramatically, but just so that they're slightly staggered. Start right about here. And it's going to end a little bit before this one does too. Okay. So there's our outline, kind of. And we can go through and clean it up as necessary. So, I'm pretty pleased with how both of these look. And so that part is finished. So at this point, what I'm going to do is go ahead and do a little bit of eye makeup on this eye. Very minimal. You want most of the focus to be on this side of the face. Basically, I'm just going to do kind of everyday makeup on this side. Again, we don't want this to be dramatic at all. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and apply some lashes. Now the ones that I have today are not the same ones that I used in Departure, but they will do the job. I don't know if you can see this. Just really small. It's a corner, just made for the outer corner of your lashes, but it's pretty thick. The ones I used in Departure were across my whole eye and were really long and dramatic. But this will do the trick as well. So I'm just getting some of my lash glue out of the little tube. Makes a nice little sound. So let's go ahead and apply some adhesive to the lash. Applying lashes has always been challenging for me. So you want to apply your lash glue and then let it kind of air dry for about 10 to 15 seconds to allow it to get kind of tacky. Okay, now, so I've got my lashes on both eyes now. You can probably tell on this side, maybe not so much because it's all black anyway. So I'll show you kind of try and show you. Turning to the side, you should be able to see some long lashes protruding outward. So I like to apply just a layer or two of mascara after I've put on my lashes, just to emphasize them and also help them kind of blend in with my own lashes a little bit better. Just gotta be kind of delicate and not remove them by accident. Okay. I'm not going to do any mascara on my lower lashes on this side, but I will on this side. So next, I'm going to focus on doing a little bit of contouring in my cheeks and on my nose. This is going to be different from everyday bronzer because, again, I'm trying to really create the illusion that I'm made of synthetics and not human flesh. So, this is kind of strange, but even though these are eyeshadows, this is a really wonderful kind of bronze palette down here. So I like to take my stipple brush and just pick up a little bit of some of these bronze hues and create strong lines along my cheekbones especially. That's what I'm going to do now. Got my favorite stippling brush here today. So we'll do a little stippling. So I just kind of tap it. Into each of those bronze colors and pick up a little bit of all of them. Tap off the excess and I'm going to kind of suck in my cheeks and really, really hollow out this area so that it's a dramatic contour. Here we go. Stipple, 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 stipple. Stipple, 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 stipple. Stipple, 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 stipple. Stipple, 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 stipple. Stipple, 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 stipple. Stipple, 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 stipple. Stipple, 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 stipple. Stipple, 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 stipple. I apologize if you can hear some neighbor noises. I'm not sure what they're doing. Stipple, 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 stipple. Okay, now I want to do the same thing kind of along my jawline. Not too heavy, but just kind of create that line. Stipple, 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 stipple. Stipple, 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 stipple. Stipple, 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 stipple. Stipple, 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 stipple. Stipple, 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 stipple. So here's this side. And it is okay for it to look pretty intense like this. That's what I'm going for. So now let's go to the other side. Stipple, 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 stipple. Stipple, 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 stipple. Okay, so I finished contouring along my jawline. I don't know if you can tell, I also went ahead and did some contouring and highlighting on the bridge of my nose, just using this brush and one of the bronze colors in my palette. I just created some soft lines where I wanted my nose to be, I guess, where I wanted the contours of my nose to be on each side, and then just tapped a little bit of shimmery white on the bridge of my nose to highlight that part. And I also created a little chin divot here with some more of the bronze, just to keep the android / Barbie look going. So our last step is actually pretty simple. It's lips. Now I wanted a very nude, plain lip for this, so that the focus of the look is mostly on my eyes. So I've already kind of used foundation on my, all over my mouth. The next thing that I want to do is just give a light line around my lips, just to make it look kind of fake. So I don't own lip liner just because I don't keep it around, because I just don't use it generally. So for that reason, I am going to do a little lip liner hack. I'm going to be using this cute little lip brush that came with the sparkly black brush set that I showed you guys in what was then a Thrifty Thursday video, now Thrifty Tingles. And I don't use this brush much, but it's good for this. And then I'm just going to use an eyeshadow to create a lip line, which is not necessarily the best thing to do, but it's definitely works for our purposes. So I'm going to use kind of a bronzy red. So now, I'm just going to blend this line just a little bit. Just with my fingertip. So I still have a nude colored lip, but it's just a little bit more precise looking. In Departure 2, I finished that with a clear plumping lip gloss that I have since run out of. So today I'm just going to use a little tube of Carmex just to get kind of a glossy sheen, which will do the trick just as well. Just apply a little bit of that. And that is it. So now, I brush my hair out a little bit. Of course, I don't have full sherry hair going on at the moment, but Okay, and final touch. The holographic visors that I wore. That is a pair of plastic sunglasses with the glass popped out and it's just the plastic frame. Okay, so here it is, the pretty much completed Sherry 3000 Android makeup look from Departure 2. So I really hope that you guys enjoyed watching me recreate this look today. And keep leaving comments suggesting other types of tutorials that you'd like to see in future tutorial tingles. And I will do my best to make this happen for you. Okay guys, well thank you so much for watching, and I'll be seeing you again very soon. Good night. Consider this idea for now. But when you understand it, you'll be able to move this can of pop with your mind. Good pop.